We've had problems with that in the past, Wolf.
Or you'll be too hydrated for this best of 5.
Yeah.
Maps loading. It's time, Valdez.
PVT on Expedition Lost. This is going to be an interesting one. FanTaSy, some decent room, actually, to put on that pressure he loves to do. In the back with that ice. Let's see if he goes for it here. Game number 4, Zest versus FanTaSy. Let's do it.
KT roster Zest, 주성우 vs. Dead Pixels FanTaSy, 정명훈.
Up in the top right, in the yellow, our Protoss player, it is Zest.
Down bottom left in red. Dead Pixels. It's FanTaSy. Well, no dead pixels in that last game, but he certainly couldn't see the DTs. DTs, kind of a funny tech in StarCraft 2. Like in StarCraft 1, they were pretty similar as well. You would sometimes see rush DT builds and it's like say PvP. And obviously in PvP and PvT. So, yeah, so both sometimes like these weird rush DT kind of crazy shenanigan builds. PvZ, different story because it was kind of a staple. Bisu, those Corsair DT builds, but that's another story for a different day. But all I'm saying is like these DT builds, sometimes you throw them in, people don't make turrets because they know you're not going oracles, and then suddenly you get blindsided, you lose way too many SCBs, and then Zest just slaps you down. Takes that momentum. He's now 1 win away from being the first player in the KeSPA Cup round of 8.
That build was so cool, by the way. I'm definitely stealing that for the ladder. It's just like, make it look like you're playing safe. Stay on 2 base, stay back. Don't let them scout it and slip some DTs in the back door.
Yeah. What do you do when someone tries to slip a cannon in your backside? From Grak 420. We need to have these
I wish
questions.
we had that, man. Like, from Poofy 420.
That was Jason Lee who had to deal with that, man. His substitute day, he was filling in for Tastes and our Toasts. He gets to the, what do you do if someone slips a can in your backside? He didn't know about the trolls. He didn't know about Grak 420 and Poofy's 420. He didn't know about Shaquille Grekeel O'Neal. Sorry, Grekeel O'Neal.
Michael
Gregson. He wasn't prepared.
That's so. We have to have that. Actually, we're gonna talk to our producers, make sure that comes back.
We need to make the SPO TV forums. The Golem TV forums were the best back in the day. Yeah. There's people on there. I was like, does anyone else think Wolf's hair needs to be cut? I just don't.
He's the hair master, but he doesn't even take care of his own hair.
Anyone else think Calder's from Europe? I don't know if that's okay. Like, what are you guys even saying? Oh man. Everyone's like, I don't like Mold Trap. I'm like, Mold Trap hasn't been casting here for quite some time. You
Golem TV people all the time, man. Sometimes on Twitter, just like the most random questions. I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. I actually cannot reply to that.
No, Brendan is not Nathanius. It's not the case.
The most common thing we get is like, we get these posts on Twitter that are good. They're like, oh, I really enjoyed the cast today with Moonglade and Wolf. I'm like, no, you're tweeting at Brendan Valdez. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, I'm casting with Moonglade. Wolf's not even here.
I don't even sound that Australian, I think.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, too. Like, if we were all American and sounded similar, like, it would make a little bit more sense. But I'm like, are you even paying attention? I guess some people just don't care. Like, they're just watching this for the StarCraft.
For the high-level play.
I give that to you. Like,
so high-level.
Through that, like, I do appreciate that. So,
all right, so back on point here. It's a slightly delayed factory follow-up from the expansion versus one gate into a robo, like super safe, like so safe, like I crossed all my dots, or crossed all my T's, dotted all my J's.
What? Oh, yeah, you do.
Well, not everybody dots their J's, but I don't either, actually, to be honest.
No.
I know it's kind of personal, but to tell you guys, but I really
We don't actually write anything ever.
Yeah. That's true. Like,
we just text everything.
What's funny, hold that thought, let's see what this Reaper does, because this is like a super delayed Reaper. Is he going to get a... Whoa, Terrorist Terran in the building.
Yep. Sorry, Zest, you're not Zerg. You can't make
Is he
that
going to get another one?
crawler.
Nah, he's just going to scout. Sees the Robo, and he's like, oh, my Widowmine build might not work out like I wanted it to.
He's going for another kill. Nope. Going to go down. I don't know why he didn't commit to that. Doesn't matter.
It's funny when the Reaper dies, Jetpack sends it up into the sky a little bit. You'd think that the Terrans would be able to, like, engineer the Reaper so it can kind of fly just in general. Like, what kind of jetpack doesn't make you fly? It just makes you hover. Who thought of that? Come on, Terran engineers.
Like, they're messing up, man. Reaper needs to be a flying unit in Legacy of the Void.
Where's the upgrade? They got grenades now.
That would actually be interesting. I don't think it would be worth it ever. Like, to upgrade your Reaper to be flying.
And then it's going to die to Phoenixes. No good. That's why.
Maybe we'd see more 5X Reaper.
Well, 5X Reaper apparently is a thing.
Yeah, we saw it once. Oh, really?
In the beta because they got grenades now and they can blow up roaches.
Oh boy! Wow.
Oh, I don't know why I'm in such a good mood today, Valdez.
Me too.
I'm just like, I'm not actually taking this game as serious as I need to because this is a big drop.
We're just in game 4, just like, ah, whatever. You guys can watch. We'll talk about anything.
Okay, drop's coming in. Let's see how much damage he gets done because he's going for that multi-prong harass over to the front. That's a bent prong right there, man. That's not getting anything done. Here comes the...
What?
Like, you know, when I think of two-prong attack, I don't actually think of like a trident or two prongs. What I think of is like an electrical outlet.
Oh,
Two prongs getting plugged in, man.
That's one of them is bent that doesn't go in.
Not getting any power on that electrical device. You're not charging your phone. You need to go to the 7-Eleven and actually pay $1 to do that. It's going to take 30 minutes.
Which you can do. By the way, my phone was dying the other day, and I went to a ramen shop and charged my phone while I ate.
That's smart.
Welcome to Korea.
That's actually great. You get ramen and your phone charged.
Yep.
I usually just carry a second battery, which is kind of annoying because when I sit down, it's like a little bit uncomfortable with a battery in my pocket. But
that's okay.
First world problems, right? All right, so FanTaSy is struggling to get damage done because, again, Zest is kind of countering here, almost blind countering, just going to the super safe robo play. But look at this. He's like way too safe. Korean commentators are surprised. The Widowmine didn't even shoot. I'm like, listen, okay, how many Stalkers over there? 2 Stalkers, a Zealot, a Mothership Core, and Nexus Cannon activated.
In perfect position.
If that Widowmine got a shot off, I think Zest would have just paused and been like, wait a minute, are we sure this is the right version?
Something's broken, like, what game are we playing?
2 cannons coming up right now for extra safety.
Yeah, this is some of the best drop defense I've ever seen. Oh, this one might get some damage done. 2 Widowmines coming down, but again, a really great pull out of Zest. He's so good with this. And what does FanTaSy have over there at the third base? Not much.
Yeah, he's got a lot of his units in this drop. So this is going to cost him some mules here, as you can see, and some SCVs. These Marines don't have Stim. In fact, Stim hasn't even started, Valdez.
What? Is Zest going to win the game with Stalkers here? No. It's going to do a ton of damage, though. Technically winning the game.
So I know we talked about a bunch of craziness during the beginning of this game. We weren't like following this game insanely closely. I just didn't tell you guys. This third base that he made really early, like he's been doing every game, is so vulnerable. And Zest is just starting to pick apart the fact that FanTaSy plays the exact same game every single game of the series, besides the first game where he went like for a slightly different CC first. But he's been going for these Widowmine drops even after the CC first. This time he hard counters it and he's like, I bet you have a third base up over there. Oh, you do. I'm going to send Stalkers over here. I don't need all these Stalkers at home to defend your drop. And he got a ton of damage done.
Yeah. And Zest right now, he's actually going back home. I think he could have done some decent damage. The army of the Terran right now is mostly Marines. There's 4 Marauders, 1 Widowmine.
Did you know that
all these upgrades are lining up here? I mean, +1 and Blink. He could have put on a lot of pressure, but looks like he doesn't want to.
Yeah, this Colossus, like, we've got a really close shot of it. Like, TIL, Colossi do have eyes in the back of their head. Or they're just one eye.
Do?
Yeah, you saw that one eye in the back? It's got a little eye back there. It's like...
I'll have to wait and see next time.
I hope they zoom in on it again for, like, an unnecessary long period of time so you can see it. See? The eyes in the back of that head. What is that? That's like your second grade math teacher. He's like, I got eyes in the back of my head.
Sometimes it's the little things that matter, man. We cast so much Starcraft, and we don't even know that the Colossus has a big eye in the back of their head.
Yeah.
Where are our priorities?
Well,
what is going on?
The thing is, Colossi are robots. I don't know if they even really see it. Might really be technically a sensor, but I don't know. Brennan just passed me a Chun-On. I'm like, thanks, man. Brennan just like gave me $1 on the table. I'm like, I don't know what this is for.
You've been doing good. Here's $1.
I'm like, am I supposed to say something nice about you? I'm like, follow him on Twitter. He's Brennan Valdez.
Oh man.
Yeah. Brennan Valdez on Twitter.
I meant to pass you this ticket.
Oh, okay. For
to
LOL
League of Legends Champions
I'm like,
yesterday.
that's not even useful anymore. That was yesterday.
I still have that in my pocket. That was fun, by the way. Total recognition from SKT.
Yeah, I always love to watch.
Learned just across the board.
Yeah.
Great team.
I just love to watch SKT beat people no matter what esport we're talking about. Yeah.
We have another Dark Shrine on the way, and FanTaSy, I hope he puts some safe turrets up.
He has not a single turret on the map.
Wow. This could do so much damage. Has he not learned from last game?
I guess not. With Zealot, he's just going to get one kill. Well, this is a huge drop, man. This is like what this game is all going to be about here. Big drop coming in on top of this army. Fairly Marauder heavy, actually. He needs to pull his claw set back. Guardian Shield on the army coming from the left side is not helping out. He needs it over here.
He gets both Colossi. Oh! A huge Widowmine hit, actually.
Yeah, that's actually too much shield damage on those Stalkers.
Looks like with that Photon Overcharge, it's going to be barely enough, but he's going to get this robotics facility here. Colossus not going to come out. Another Photon Overcharge just goes down.
You know what's so funny is Zest kept moving his whole left part of the army to third base because he expected some multi-prong harass that just never came. If he sent his whole army to his main base.
It's finally coming now. Something that FanTaSy has been skipping on the whole time. Oh, okay. It's just a couple of medevacs. Never mind.
But had he just had his whole army with his together, he would have crushed FanTaSy's attack.
Yeah.
He gave FanTaSy too much credit for his multitasking here.
FanTaSy saw the Dark Shrine, by the way, but still no turrets on the way.
Okay, one now on the way.
Okay.
I'm going to check where that is. It's in between the bases to kill an observer.
Yeah, I mean,
that's weird. Yeah. There's an observer floating over his army.
Come on, FanTaSy, please do not lose to DTs again.
Well, I mean, has he even made any yet?
Yeah, there's one. It's it was at that bottom right. Yeah, there it is. And the thing about this is that FanTaSy does have 3 orbitals, so he will be okay, I think, unless Zest is committed pretty heavily to DT harass. But Zest is right now just struggling for his life to survive against these drops.
Again, his whole third base army is not helping out. He's giving FanTaSy too much credit for the multi-prong harass. It's just not happening. The whole army is missing.
DT doing a lot of damage, already getting 1 kill, a ton of damage done to 1 Marauder, and finally a scan goes down.
Here comes the rest of the army, finally going to shut this down. Ooh. This game is so scrappy. It's I'm trying to decide if FanTaSy is just no, you keep your third army over there. I'm not even touching it, and I'm just going to actually destroy half of your army at a time. Yeah. Look at how ahead he is now. He's 60 army supply ahead.
I'm really enjoying FanTaSy's play today. I'm loving the way that this player is turning out.
He's like, no, I'm just not even going to hit your third. You just leave that army over there. That's pretty far. I mean, it is really far. We talk about this all the time in PvZ. The third base is insanely far away. It comes into play in this matchup as well. That third army, or that third base army, that third base defending army, this one right here that we're looking at, always out of position because FanTaSy is just leaving that third base alone. It's kind of awkward for Zest right now trying to defend this.
Look at this. FanTaSy already setting up for another big counterattack. Koreans are screaming about that one Widowmine kill on the Zelda. I'm like, whoa! Let's see how this attack goes. Coming from 2 sides now, trying to focus down those Colossi.
Force Field's not where they need to be on the right side here because he doesn't have any sentries there. Guardian Shield's all he's using, and FanTaSy is just winning trades on both ends.
I think he's just going to kill Zest right now.
I think so. That's going to be all she wrote. Down.
He wins the right side battle, he wins the left side battle.
That's it.
Wow. Impressive play from FanTaSy.
FanTaSy just did not drop 2 locations. He was like, keep half your army over there. That's fine. I'll kill it. I'll kill your half that is over here. And I'm just going to do it 3 times. And Zest never reunited his army. And DTs get scanned and killed here. And that's going to be all she wrote. If this were scripted, this isn't. GG.
FanTaSy makes it interesting here. We're going to go into Game 5 now. Tying it up 2-2.
I am a FanTaSy fan now.
Oh, yeah. I was, I am, and I will be. Drop my
Looking
phone on the ground.
solid. You gotta just.
I'm like so excited I throw my phone on the ground.
You need to slow down, Valdez, because this is just the very first best of 5.